Hello, gorgeous people, and welcome to another TV Central one-on-one podcast. I'm Aaron Ryan. This is episode 21, 2023, and the 12th of the Australian Survivor Elimination episodes, although this is the 15th elimination overall. We are used to a blindside on Survivor. Heck, we're even used to the blindside of a blindside. But what would you call last night's elimination? Shock? Pure betrayal? Well, King George has slayed one of his own in a surprising and perplexing move. The Spice Girls are no more. Shonee has left the building. Johnny Bowtell is the 15th person eliminated from Australian Survivor. Shonee, thank you for joining me at TV Central.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I credit you as one of the smartest players. This is not your first rodeo by any stretch. You can sniff out plans by the way people interact and react and what their body language is doing. Did you have any idea at all that something was cooking?
I did mention 3 times in last night's episode, once to Matt saying, "Ooh, it feels too easy." And then when I was voting, I said, "I don't have the best feeling." And then I asked Liz how she felt about it. But I basically was just thinking, "Oh, you're very tired and exhausted. Don't worry about it, honey." But I definitely should have worried about it.
I think that George is that good at manipulation that he even had me fooled. I absolutely knew he could turn on people and even within people in his own alliance. However, I thought it was game on for everyone except for yourself and Liz. I got taught a lesson too. Knowing what George is like, did you think it was foolish to trust him?
Well, look, you have to trust some people, but he is so passionate about the game. And for George playing Survivor, he really gets to live out his dream. So I can completely understand why he doesn't have any problems with voting out someone that saved him twice.
You did. And you mentioned a tribal council that there will come a time when moves will have to be made, but now is not the time, because if you split the alliance now, you might not even make it to the final tribal council. He now has Liz offside. He has Haley, Nina, Simon, and Shaun against him. I'm guessing Matt could be persuaded to leave. Surely he's got himself into a minority. Do you read it that way?
Well, I guess we'll have to see how it pans out. But yeah, there can only be one winner. And certainly a lot of people will be joining me in the jury villa.
How it pans out is always George ending up on top somehow. He'll get his way through this. I do get the Liz Shonee thing. If you were getting super close to the final, but what do you think he was doing by removing you now? What's the plan now for George?
I think that would be best suited to ask George. I guess his priority is breaking up Liz and I's strong alliance. I mean, I'm sure he felt like a third wheel, which he was. So I understand that. But, he will, I'm sure he's got some plans.
He always has a plan. How are you going with personal versus gameplay? I mean, do you have any ill feelings towards George now?
No, not at all. I find it quite easy to go between my playing Survivor and then coming home and living my life. And I truly believe that what's for me will be for me. So yeah, I'm just obviously I would love $500,000, but there's also 23 other people who aren't getting $500,000. So that makes it that little bit sweeter.
Yeah. Look, I'm trying to just a viewer, but trying to put myself in your shoes. I mean, I just think it would sting a bit. I mean, there was definitely a time for gameplay because all three of you, can't win. But friendship to me feels like you should have been able to go further than you did. And then there might have been something play out a bit closer to the finale. Do you not see it that way?
Well, in last night's episode, Liz and I had a conversation about doing the exact same thing to George that he did to me. So whilst I would never turn on Liz, because she actually is she's like a life friend. And I personally, if I'm not going to win, I would want someone who's my friend to win. So honestly, I feel like my voting record up until last night was every single person that I voted for went home. So I just feel like I don't want to be hypocritical and be like, how dare they, when I'm that exact same thing over and over and over again.
You'll obviously throw your support behind Liz. Do you reckon she genuinely has a chance of at winning?
I think she is smart, she's tough, she's strong. So yeah, I definitely have faith that she can keep on pushing through. She'll just need to find a new snuggle buddy.
I want to ask a sliding doors question for a moment. So let's speculate. Not your elimination, but the tribal council before that, where Nina and Shaun both played an immunity idol for themselves and clearly picked the wrong person, sending Sam home. But let's just say Shaun said Sam to save. Now, George would have gone home. That would have been a whole different game moving forward. What kind of dynamic do you think would have played out if George had have left the previous tribal council?
Yeah, that would be crazy. But I understand why, it's difficult when you're actually playing the game. And obviously Shaun has his best interests at heart. Nina has hers. But it was a shame that they didn't believe Hayley's advice. But who knows? Maybe if that happened, I would still be there the next episode. It definitely would have opened it up more.
It almost feels like that, certain players are quite strong and they would have. But if it felt like if George went and alliances kind of changed, I mean, the whole game would have been up for grabs at that point by almost everybody, because there would have had to be new alliances and stuff. So it is interesting. Well, over 800 hours have played out on the island for you before you left, but viewers have seen around 17 hours of footage. What are we not seeing holistically as viewers?
I think it's very, very difficult. Like, it rains constantly. There's a lot of waiting around. Like, we are away from our camp for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours a day. So it's definitely, it's very draining. But people, they're not going to just show us sitting there like in the rain. But it is funny. Like, I do see comments of like, why doesn't this person ever talk? And it's kind of like, honey, that person is talking, but that person isn't in charge of the 45-minute episode. So it's not as literal. It's not a documentary. It's a entertaining TV show. So things are always going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, some of the contestants that have been eliminated so far have talked about relationships, because obviously you see, this blindsiding and this person, plotting with this person. But during camp, there's a lot of relationships being formed with people that are not necessarily that you thought that would be chatting. So I guess you're chatting to everyone during those, off times, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of chatting, but I guess it's just the ultimate goal is to make the most entertaining TV show, and they just have to cut out a lot.
Hey, with Liz being your pick from the heart, can I ask purely from a strategy betting point of view and knowing what is ahead and starting to see who's on the jury, who do you think will win Australian Survivor?
I will just have to wait and see. That would be a major, major, major giveaway if I answered that.
Oh, you could speculate as a viewer now, like watching the episodes.
I think like literally it could be anyone's game. There's still, I think, like quite a few more episodes and stuff moves fast. I mean, we saw last night how quickly it changed to being me. And yeah, it's definitely going to be an amazing, roller coaster.
Yeah, there'll be some big players still in. Oh, well, there are some big players still in, such as Liz and George, Simon, Shaun. I don't know. I just get this feeling that they will try to knock each other out, and Jerry and Matt might just get there in the end. Is that realistic?
There's definitely a lot of big players And yeah, the big players have to stop looking at people as shields and start seeing them as their direct competition.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I know that you know more information, but do you, like, from the episodes that you've seen, do you think George could actually make it to the final tribal?
I think anyone could make it.
A politician answer, Shonee. So what is your favorite thing about Survivor? I mean, is it the friendships? Is it the strategy? Is it the challenges? The island itself? I mean, what do you enjoy most about it?
I just love going there, and I just think it's such an amazing opportunity to really like push myself and put myself in these extreme conditions, because it's just like something that not like only such a small amount of people get to actually go and experience it. And I just feel so lucky to be able to do that. And I always think like, okay, it's just like a small fragment of my life. And then I'm going to come back and go back to my nice little wholesome life that I've got going on. So I just love like putting myself to the limit and doing something crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And finally, I just wanted to ask you a question about girl power, and I'm not really referring to the Spice Girls thing. But I feel that you've really been a role model for women and young women out there as well, because we talk about the meat tray and stuff, and they're so big in challenges and stuff like that. But yeah, there are a few challenges where Shaun, because of his size, has obviously helped. But these endurance challenges, like the ones where the feet were up against the box, and those type of endurance challenges have overwhelmingly been won by women. And obviously strategy type games and mental sort of games and puzzles, you know, it isn't just about the meat tray, isn't it? And about these big blokes, women, and like your alliance that you've got with Liz. I mean, women are strong, aren't they? You've been a great mentor.
Yeah. The women on the show are amazing. And it is, I feel like, Liz and I, when we did that box challenge, we could really just like get in the zone, and just, we were very, very determined. And it is crazy, like what you can do when you push yourself. So yeah, move over the meat tray. We got shit.
So that particular challenge though that you did, that endurance thing, I mean, some of the guys, especially the real fit ones, got out quite early. Do you think, is that more mental? I mean, because I don't want to take away the physicality of that either, because doing that for a long period of time is very difficult. But is it a mental thing too to get through that?
Definitely mental, because so what I do is I pick two different like leaves, and I basically just focus, stare, block out everything. And because I'm staring at something for so long, the outside of my vision goes black. And my feet were, I've never felt such extreme pain before. Like my feet felt like they were on hot coals because they're just pushing against the block for so long. My lower back was actually numb for weeks. I still have a scar.
Oh, wow.
But I just like to keep my face calm to relax. But men can definitely win that challenge, because David and Zach, the two biggest people on All Stars, won that challenge.
All right, Shonee. I don't need to tell you that you are a legend of the game. I don't know whether you were stabbed in the back or the heart, but from my side, it looked like both. But thank you for making great television, and I hope that the Liz and Shonee friendship lasts forever, because that's a beautiful thing as well. And thank you for joining me here at TV Central.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
That was Shonee Bowtell, 15th eliminated from Australian Survivor. Australian Survivor, 7:30 Sunday and Monday on 10 and 10 Play, down to two episodes a week from next week. TV Central will be talking to almost every eliminated contestant. There will be a podcast available around lunchtime the day after an elimination. That's it for this episode. For all the latest news, podcasts, streaming info, guides, and ratings, head to tvcentral.com.au. Until next time, I'm Aaron Ryan. Thanks to Shonee Bowtell. Bye for now.